Okie dokie. So coming out of town square, you want to be mashing triangle like this and holding your camera button so that you can set yourself up for the Toasty wall glide. It's gonna look a bit something like this. And you're gonna drop down here. See how the camera's facing that way and it's already kind of getting me ready? After you drop down, you want to charge here, full hop, charge glide over to this wall. You kind of want to be hugging it. There's a very few specific spots that you can hang on to. This is going to be a bit of a longer video because we have to go over the wall glide and dog proxy, which is in Toasty. So yeah, coming out of here, triangle, set up here. Toasty wall glide can be a bit difficult. It's not too bad, you just have to kind of learn the contour of the wall because this lip tends to catch people, the part that sticks out where Spyro's crown is. So full hop, charge, glide, make sure you're ready for that, go around it. The first spot you're going to land is here. You can kind of get a feeling for the polygons. This one isn't super large. It goes down quite a bit, but it stops right here. And again, you'll get a feel for this. It's a bit of a triangle here. And the next one is up there. It's a bit longer. I charge glide to get up. It extends all the way to the top of this, so this one's a bit more lenient. As long as you land anywhere close to where I landed, you can save it. If you start to bounce and fall, hold X and you'll save it. You'll get back up like that. If you're not holding X, you're gonna fall like that. So you're gonna hit the first spot, make sure you go around the contour of that. I failed it because I'm amazing at this game. Land here, set a state to make sure I don't beef it again. Charge glide here. I think you can do it without one. It's just more annoying. I don't recommend it. Yeah, you're gonna want to get pretty good at charge gliding for this category. It's applicable like everywhere. So charge glide onto this one, and then your next one is to the right of this like light green patch right here. This one is kind of small. It's only about where I'm standing. It stops there. So be careful with that one. Worst comes to worst, you miss like this, and you can just glide through Toasty. Not if you get a drop like that though. If you're like too low, you can go around like that. But ideally you want to land here and you can charging jump over the top, like into Toasty's horn if you have the momentum. So let's do that real quick. Like that. That's a quick way. It's also better to get an instant load from this. If you aim for the like top left of the portal, wait a little bit, you can get in instantly like that, so it's pretty handy. Yeah, I recommend just practicing the wall glide from there. If you fall, you can always just run around. Whoops. You can also free Argus, who's in front of Toasty, if you're not comfortable doing the wall glide, and it'll open the Toasty head for you. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to go over all the strats that I do, which is like everything. So get back into Toasty, get that instant load there. Just practice that a few times, learn the contour of the wall. That's the hardest part of it, I'd say. Okay, now for everyone's favorite trick, dog proxy. So, dog proxy is a bit complicated and precise. It's not easy to get the hang of, so it's gonna take you definitely a few tries to even get it once, probably. I'm stopping here to kind of teach you a setup so that you can learn the timing of it first. There's a little hill here. You want to be standing to the right of it. About a Spyro, like Spyro and a half away. Like Spyro's length, I guess, like that. Maybe somewhere like here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And see where I'm aiming my crown thing that Spyro has? It's right behind the dog's nose, and it's like in between this zigzag texture. And that's a pretty good consistent setup. And you're gonna want to practice running up to the dog and then jumping when he's at the top of his jump. Like that. And he will send you into the air like a madman. So first get the hang of finding that position. You want to be stopping pretty close to the dog. You don't want to touch his paw or anything. If you go too far in, this will happen. If you go too far out, this will happen. So just kind of learn the signs of what's too far, too late. You also want to learn jump timing. The cue that I use is when the dog is at the top of his jump and his legs start to splay outwards, you're going to want to jump. I know Farnia said that you can jump when the wizard's feet come down. It's like the same thing. I think the dog is just easier to see most of the time, especially if you're doing the blind setup. So yeah, once you learn how to do it this way, and you're all good with that, then you're gonna want to start incorporating a blind setup. It's not necessary if you don't want to throw runs here. If you miss it, you can always run through Toasty, but this saves a chunky amount of time, so I do recommend it. Anyway, so we're gonna go to my dog proxy state. I have this set up because I need to practice it all the time. So when you fly into Toasty, if you're going for the blind setup, you're gonna want to hold charging jump like this. And you see this pillar here? As soon as, well, it's more of an arch, I guess. As soon as that is off screen, like around here, you want to wait a little. If you turn instantly, you're gonna be like way too far in. You want to wait for that to be off screen and turn into the dog. And it's not easy to do, so I'm probably not going to get it every time, but it looks a bit like that. Charging jump, hold right. All you need is a right input once you're past this if you do it right. You don't have to like feather it. Farnia feathers it because he turns a bit early and he sets it up based on his visual cue, which is totally fine. It's just not... I can't exactly do it like that. He like does this thing. I'm gonna slander him if I try to explain what he does, so I won't. But yeah. Full hop, go past the pillar, and then hold right once you're at the right spot. Another good indicator, I think Absent pointed this out to me, is when this shows up on screen, like the very tip of that shows up at the top of the screen, is also a good indicator of when to turn. And you want to be stopping in the same place that you'd stop from that other setup. Like, you want to be close to the dog, about a Spyro's length away, and like not perfectly center on him. You want to be slightly towards the shepherd as well. And once you get the proxy, it's important to know how to like enter the vortex. If you want, you can press triangle and just until you have a comfortable height. I know some people that do that. That's fine. It's just kind of slow. I try to get a high one so I can show you what I mean. Yeah, if this is a high one, you could just do this if you want, until you can see it. But what we like to do, if we get a super high one, my finger slipped there, is just charge out of it like this. And you're going to want to kind of practice knowing where the vortex is and how much Spyro is going to turn. It's pretty blind, so that one's not super easy. But yeah, just practice setting up the setup that I explained earlier, get the timing of the jump down, and once you have that, you're going to want to move on to doing it blind like this. And yeah, that's dog proxy. We're going to go into the vortex here, and then split there. Yeah, that's Toasty.